what I wanted to do was bring 6 separate installations together. So each installation had been with ceramics, wallpaper, a lot of different things. The one thing they had in common was the floor. They're all floor weavings. So I love the idea of kind of stripping down the show so that it had a dialogue with the architecture. And the light, that's the most important. So by kind of painting in the space, by sketching in the space, letting the space breathe, I really wanted the architecture to breathe. A lot of people are seeing it the first time, and I was seeing it for the first time without walls, and it was very exciting to kind of see the openness and to kind of feel the light of the space. And what was interesting is I didn't want the work to be chronological. It's the work from the last 6 years, but I also wanted it to be a kind of circular journey. So the building was a pavilion building that traveled, and I love this idea that you travel around the work. The work had kind of landed in this almost space. Somebody said it kind of felt like a spaceship that kind of levitated up. And what's also important and kind of different about my work, I think, by the fact that it is all on the floor, is that you kind of feel all the space. And I really wanted you to have the sense of the floor, but also all of this space and the conversation between. You're moving. What I want really is to set up a space that people are moving and taking time. It's a contemplative space too. You can stop and sit on the rugs, and I love this, that it's sort of a journey through all these 6 different spaces and 6 different thoughts. And when I started out, I did not study sculpture, and it was sort of this place, you know, big monumental things, and I was interested in the everyday. I was interested in a lot of different things. I was interested in high and low. I was interested in craft. I was trying to bring in a lot of different things into the dialogue, and I thought just by painting that there was more. I wanted to open up the dialogue and the space, and so trying to bring as many different associations and inspirations and different kind of ways of making art and into the dialogue, into the mix. And so, you know, it's a painting on the floor. And you asked me about fallen paintings, that it's something that moved, and also the whole idea of fallen. I love that idea that people can come and they can physically sit on a painting. That's very unusual. And so that's why I think that if you say sit on a sculpture, it's not as interesting. I think sitting in and being in a space and immersed in a space. So it's really a physical experience. It's different than most people's work. That's a little strange, but it is. And I like that. Because each one of these was a different situation, and then making a new kind of conversation. And I like the idea that other people are kind of adding to that story too, who can actually be here and experience the work too. That's very important to me. Happiness Runs is a song from 1968 by Donovan, and it's a round. So it's a canon where people come in at different spots, and he sings, and it's Happiness Runs in a circular motion. That's perfect to kind of what I'm thinking and how to organize. But I love that Happiness Runs was a way of kind of structuring. It's a round, and it was a way of structuring, but it was also conceptually very interesting to me. That to talk about happiness now is, I think, kind of very provocative, But it's also to have a kind of, in these dark times, to have a positive message for the future.